This is weird. Do you guys know of a show called Roseanne?
Yeah, that's that really old show about...
It is a really old show.
I used to love that show.
Fat John Goodman.
Yeah, I think I didn't like it. I think I was too busy watching The Cosby Show.
Yeah,
so
I
there
never
you go.
watched it.
If there was a big sitcom in the 90s, someone probably did something terrible.
And that Batman saying has never rung truer than when you just said that, and I realized.
I used to watch The Cosby Show.
What?
No, the lived long enough to see yourself become the villain. Right?
Did you just say that?
Nope.
No, but like Cosby became a serial rapist.
Yeah.
And
No,
Roseanne
it's-
is now a serial racist.
Which is
yeah.
worse.
Okay, so we'll go through this sort of like in a kind of order. So her show,
Right.
the ABC sitcom Roseanne, had actually been renewed, and they made a new season last year. It was like airing at the moment, or
Yes.
yeah, at the time. It was axed this week after Roseanne Barr, the comedian and star of the show, tweeted a racist comment about a former Obama staffer, like a very senior staffer, Valerie Jarrett.
What did she tweet?
I don't know how she's. I actually don't think I actually copied the actual tweet.
I'll find it.
But the actual tweet was basically along the line.
Along the line.
Along the lines. Along the lines of Valerie Jarrett is a cross between the Muslim Brotherhood and Planet of the Apes.
I think you just quoted it perfectly.
That's pretty much it.
Yeah.
Wow.
Because it was a response to another tweet. It wasn't actually a full sentence on its own. It was someone else saying something about Valerie Jarrett, and then she responded to that with that comment. So there's like two layers to that. One, the Muslim Brotherhood comment, which is sort of like, what? Where's that come
Weird.
from? Turns out Valerie Jarrett was born in Iran and lived there for the first 5 years of her life. She was born to two American parents who were doctors and were over there as part of it because their hospital did a thing where they'd send people overseas.
Oh.
So this was, I guess, a long time ago before the current regime in Iran. There is a conspiracy theory around that she is a Muslim. Like she's a secret Muslim.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Is it
Why
not
does
okay?
there have to be a conspiracy
No, because there's
theory?
no evidence that she's actually a Muslim.
What is she actually?
I don't know.
American.
Agnostic?
She's-
Something?
Just an American, I guess.
Right.
I don't know what she is. But like her religion's not like...
Disclosed.
Yeah, I guess there's no evidence that she actually is a Muslim. That's the thing, right?
But you wouldn't say to a normal person, I don't know what your religion is, so I think it's a conspiracy that you're a Muslim. That's weird.
It is
These
weird.
people are weird, though. There's
yeah.
like...
They think Obama's a Muslim too, right?
Yeah, so this was like... There's an actual... I'll find the quote, because it was actually really weird. There's a fake quote associated with Valerie Jarrett, and it's purported to come from her college days. It says, I am an Iranian by birth and of my Islamic faith. I am also an American citizen, and I seek to help change America to be a more Islamic country.
Sorry. that's
My
not
faith guides me, and I feel like it is going well in the transition of using freedom of religion in America against itself. Now, like, I went on Snopes, because there was like a Snopes article on this quote, basically just debunking it, saying there's no evidence she ever said this. It was really just something that's been retweeted by right-wing people. Also, for someone who was going to like a really good college, I think it was like Stanford or something, it's really terrible English, that quote. That was one of their points. It was like, this is a poorly constructed sentence that you would not expect.
But her parents aren't Iranian, right?
No, they're American. One of them's African American, the other one's white. The problem with the tweet that Roseanne said is that she compared her to part of to Planet of the Apes. It was a cross between Muslim Brotherhood and Planet of the Apes. So the Muslim Brotherhood was a sort of a callback to all the theories that she's like a secret Muslim trying to take down America from the inside.
Political, religious vibe.
And calling a black person an ape
Yeah, that's the
is
other
a
side of it.
classic racist thing to say.
Yeah, so that's a classic white supremacist black people are monkeys thing.
Yeah.
Which is weird because white people tend to be a lot hairier. But,
Amen.
Okay.
so, everyone was like... So, she was getting, like, pushback on Twitter, right? People saying this is really racist. And she was saying stuff like, Muslim isn't a race. There are Muslims of every race. She's a full-on wacko. Like, on Twitter, she's, like, as right-wing, alt-right as you can get. She says everything...
Yes.
Roseanne?
That Alex
Technically,
yeah,
she's
Roseanne.
right, though, about
Everything-
the Muslim thing. They are not right.
Yeah, but it's the weakest
I get
defense of
it.
saying something
But
terrible.
I'm
about
just
people.
saying she was
I'm not
technically right, isn't it?
stereotyping you based on your race. I'm stereotyping you based on your religion.
Yeah, she was like calling
Yes.
another guy accusing him of being a Nazi who
Yes,
turned in
George
other Jewish
George
people.
Soros, who is also another big target of right-wing conspiracy theories because he tends to fund a lot of more left-leaning and pro-migrant type policies. Classic Nazi move.
Yeah.
She accused him back in 2016 or so of being a Nazi who sold out fellow Jews during the Holocaust. Which, she's saying that to a Jewish man. That's terrible. She's also actually Jewish descendant as well. Her parents.
Does that make it okay
Jewish.
to say that?
No, but just for
Just checking.
context, she has this very weird. I don't know. Okay, so this is yeah.
Sounds like it was a long time coming with this stuff.
Yeah, that's the weird thing about this. So ABC, the company that produced Roseanne, canceled the show immediately. Kind of. I think that there's a lot of African Americans who work for that company, and they probably immediately were like, "No,
Well,
this
Yeah.
isn't happening
That's
anymore."
the big thing about this show returning was she's in the modern day she's a Trump supporter. She's right wing.
Yes, she is a Trump supporter. She did run for the Green Party nomination in 2012.
That's right.
She was at the Occupy Wall Street movement. She gave a speech there in support of them. Her political views are all over the place, but she's pro-Trump. Apparently, mainly because she's anti-Hillary, because I guess she believes all the conspiracy theories like Pizzagate and all that stuff, which she has also retweeted. And so she's the concept behind the show was that you would have someone who's an actual, this show was originally a thing.
Yeah.
Like a big thing because it was the first one that showed a proper working class,
Yep.
low
Yeah.
class family just dealing with problems
And
that
she doesn't
they faced.
filter herself. She
Yeah.
says
No.
real. She's
And it gets
real.
very heavy
Yeah.
as well. So it deals with pretty big things.
And it's
Yeah.
a leading woman, too.
Yeah, it's a leading woman, and also it kind of provides a middle ground that doesn't exist at the moment because she's actually a Trump supporter in real life. So I guess people who are Trump supporters might actually watch it. There's a general pretty solid distrust from Trump supporters to most Hollywood stuff, right?
Yeah.
And this kind of provided because her whole family's I think in the show they're surprised that she's a Trump supporter. It's kind of oh, what, you support Trump? But it's providing a middle ground where you can have that kind of opposing views where you don't feel like one of them's a straw man.
Yeah, because the daughter would definitely not be.
No,
I
I
imagine
think
the
all
show
the
she's
other
not.
all the other actors are all left leaning or
Oh, really?
all that stuff. Yeah, so it's just super weird. I guess it's quite sad. I get the idea behind why they did it, but a lot of the crazy stuff that she said she's done before, before they gave her the show back again. So it's sort of you kind of knew what you were getting, right? This was
Yeah,
already a problem.
totally.
She called George Soros a Nazi before, and she'd also compared she'd said Susan Rice, another female black member of the Obama administration. She said she had big swinging ape balls or something like that.
Yeah, I think
It's just she just says crazy stuff.
No matter I think just with the tweet in pure simple terms, there's just no context you can explain that away
No,
as not being a terrible racist.
no. And her
totally.
response after the Muslim thing, I guess it kind of seems like she didn't know that Valerie was African American. She doesn't.
Oh.
She's not full. She's half, and she kind of looks more white.
She's
I
lighter.
guess. Yeah, she's lighter. Her defense was that she must have thought she was a Muslim.
She's like Drake shade.
Yeah,
She thought she was Arab, not black.
I think that she does because
Yeah.
most of the accusations that she's a
Really?
secret Iranian, so she
Oh my
thought she was a
gosh.
Persian descendant.
Still thin defense.
But then after I think she found out that she was African American, this was her response. It was, "I apologize to Valerie Jarrett and to all Americans. I am truly sorry for making a bad joke about her politics and her looks. I should have known better. Forgive me, my joke was in bad taste." The "and her looks" part makes it pretty clear that she thought the apes comment was about her looks, which makes it pretty undeniably racist.
Yep.
Forgive me, my joke was in bad taste. I apologize. I am now leaving Twitter. So she said she was going to leave Twitter. She didn't leave Twitter.
Oh, she didn't.
After that, she said, guys, I did something unforgivable, so do not defend me. It was 2 a.m. and I was Ambien tweeting. Ambien, the sleep tablet.
big
It
thing.
was Memorial Day 2. I went too far and do not want it defended. It was egregious, indefensible. I made a mistake. I wish I hadn't, but don't defend it, please.
It sounds like she's apologized 20 different ways, because I was literally just reading a different one that's kind of the same thing as, hey guys, don't defend me. It's sweet of you to try, but losing my show is 0 compared to being labeled a racist over one tweet that I regret even more.
Yeah, and I don't know if I'd be surprised if she's actually racist, but because like her views have swung all over the place so wildly, like you can't say she's right wing. It's very hard to say, oh, you're a racist. She's pro.
Does, I think if I can say this question right, does being unaware, because the whole idea of being woke is that you weren't consciously racist, you were unaware of it and feeding into it without thinking about it. Wouldn't you say that's more what she was doing? Does that make sense, that question?
I honestly think she said the ape thing because she thought she was a Muslim.
Right. Does that make it better? Isn't that worse?
No, but I think in her
She's
head it
racist
does.
against
That's
different
where
race.
if you get accused of being racist because you say something about a Muslim and your immediate response is Muslim is not a race, you're a certain type of person, and I think that type of person does not think they're doing the wrong thing by saying Muslims are apes.
Right.
I think that's the mindset she's in at the moment. It's very much at the moment. So in 2013, she accused Israel of being a Nazi state. The Jewish soul is being tortured in Israel. But then a few years later, after experiencing an awakening, she started tweeting about Islamic pedoculture. This is from Vox. So she's got this sort of history of swinging as well. Like, so over time,
Yeah.
her views changed like massively over the same issue. I don't think she's racist against black people.
Yeah, I was going to say, would she, if this was clearly racist against Muslims, would she have lost her show?
No, because I think she said worse
Yeah.
stuff than that
Exactly.
before.
So it's because,
And I don't think you'd say racist against Muslim, because
well, no, but you know what I mean.
she's right
Yeah.
on that one.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But like,
you're
because
an asshole.
because it looks like she's being racist against African Americans, even though she probably was unaware that she was African American or whatever.
It's so surprising though. I don't
I'm
know.
like,
I guess I don't know what it's like when you're that deep in the conspiracy theory world.
maybe
Like what
we
you're,
probably all
what
tweeted at 2
is
a.m.
happening in your
and,
head.
You know.
There were some other responses.
Yep.
So she kind of swung back from apologizing profusely to being defensive again. So it was kind of, I have the right to defend myself. I'm tired of being attacked and belittled more than other comedians who have said worse.
It's so annoying that she leans on the comedian thing with this.
Yeah,
Which is like,
she's strongly on the joke.
If
thing.
you're going to put yourself on the pedestal of making actual political comments and tweets
Yeah.
that you want people to take seriously, and then you lean on, oh, it's just a joke, you're a freaking idiot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, it's so annoying.
I don't think she's got 500,000 followers, but surely no one thinks she's being that intelligent, right? Like, seriously?
But I also don't think they're being like, oh, this is all joking.
Yeah, no, they're not following her because it's part of the political correctness thing, though. It's like people enjoy seeing someone say stuff that's
Yeah.
like out there because it's out there,
That's
not
the
because it's
show.
true.
Yeah.
Yeah, her show is like she speaks her mind, she says whatever. I don't know. I haven't really watched it. There were some other responses.
Yep.
Sanofi US, who produces Ambien. People of all races, religions, nationalities work at Sanofi every day to improve the lives of people around the world. While all pharmaceutical treatments have side effects, racism is not a known side effect of any Sanofi medication.
I haven't read that. That's funny.
That's
That was
the
pretty
best.
That is an actual joke. That is funny.
Yeah. Donald Trump said Bob Iger of ABC, Bob Iger, the head of Disney, who owns ABC,
Yep.
called Valerie Jarrett to let her know that ABC does not tolerate comments like these made by Roseanne Barr. Gee, he never called President Donald Trump his himself. Donald J. Trump to apologize for the horrible comments made and said about me on ABC. Maybe I just didn't get the call. So they're the classic right-wing thing, coming from the White House at least. So it's surprising Fox News reported it as Roseanne says something really racist. So they're not trying to pretend that it's not.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're like Donald Trump's thing is like, oh, people have said way worse stuff about me. Where's my apology? This after he's called people like all sorts of things over his
God.
career.
And he's
never
made fun of
apologized
And
disabled
to
wait,
people.
does he
anyone.
refer
Good job,
to
mate.
himself like in the third person?
He's
Donald
attacked-
J. Trump.
Yeah, all the time. That was him talking about himself. He attacked bloody John McCain, a Vietnam War veteran who was held in a POW camp, saying he liked people who weren't captured. Like, what the hell? You do not get it. You never get an apology. You never will have earned an apology. John Goodman.
Oh.
I wasn't going to get an Emmy anyway. I've been up there 11 times already, and if I didn't get one, I'm not going to get one. I'm not sure what question E.T. asked him to get that response, but apparently it was his comments on this.
I was just reading about that because that's the only person I care about this situation. 'Cause he's an awesome actor. He was just saying, "Yeah, I'm not going to say anything new. Like, don't care."
He's very much staying out of it.
Yeah.
He doesn't sound like he cares that the show got cancelled.
It's you know what's annoying? That the culture of anti-PC culture, which is great, and I'm actually pretty into it, but the reputation of being anti-PC is you're saying racist things, you're saying really dumb, not reasoned things. Because, like, I don't want to be too PC on this show, but I don't want to, like, it's so annoying that to be an honest person, you've got to be a belligerent a-hole.
Yeah. I think the problem is a lot of people are racists, and their impression of PC is that they're not allowed to say the things that they believe is true.
Right.
Because it's not politically correct. Whereas everyone else is saying, no, you just... people who are racist are assholes.
Yeah.
Like, you're wrong. But they see it as being politically correct because they're convinced that they're right. So political correctness is very much a sliding scale of where you sit, right, personally.
Right.
If you think that the only reason something's not allowed to be said is because it's political correctness, you're obviously going to be against that. You think something's true, but you're not allowed to say it.
Right.
Because it's politically incorrect. And then you say that's bad. Well, it depends on the thing that you think is true, right?
What if the thing that I think is true is this is funny, not this is true?
So you should be able to say it because it's funny. That's the interesting area.
Yeah.
I don't think it was funny, and I don't think that's what she was trying to be. Based on her previous tweets, it's a very strange style of humor that I don't get. I watched a bit of the show. I don't really find it funny.
I totally not in regards to her tweet, just in general.
Yeah, in general. No, that is a grey area because people say stuff in comedy settings that you kind of have to be able to say for comedy to be comedy and for it to work. And I guess that is true. That is a grey area, but like a lot, like what you're saying with like racist stuff, it tends to be the things that are PC. Like if you're against PC, you're saying racist stuff. It's just because that's what most people think PC is. They think PC means you're not allowed to say the racist stuff that you're actually thinking.
Which I guess it kind of is.
Kind of, but then most people who aren't racist would go, that's not a bad thing.
Yeah.
Which is that's the problem, right? There's that big divergence in people's viewpoints.
There's so many things I don't agree with, though, that I wouldn't say because it's not PC. Does that make sense?
I think there's also like the public and private thing, because I would say jokes that are not politically correct, but not on my Twitter for all my followers, or not here in front of you 5 people.
Yeah, and she was allowed to say what she wanted to say. Yeah. She said it.
Yeah, and
she's still saying stuff.
And
she's still on Twitter.
Yeah. And she's got to deal with the consequences.
Yeah.
Like, and if I make a racist joke on Twitter, I got to deal with the consequences.
Yeah, a whole
they
bunch
might
of
be
people are
less,
going to be upset at you.
But she's got to deal with it. I got to deal with it. Everyone's got to deal with it. So you just got to...
If you say things, there will be an effect. But anyway,
Nick's trying to get into an argument with you, but we're running out of time. So
classic.
And I know how your guys' arguments go. In circles.
Yeah. But I was actually I was just like to finish off when I immediately like read the story without reading her history of the other things she said in the past. I was kind of like, oh, that seems a bit like, why did they cancel it? Maybe they should have kept it. But then I read all this stuff and I was like, oh, she's just a freaking idiot.
I was the opposite. I saw it and I saw cancel. I'm like, good.
Yeah.
I like it when people actually make decisions and don't.
Yeah, but I was like, I liked the idea of it.
They knew what they were getting into with her.
I just like the concept.
This is not new. This is behavior that she does over and over and over again.
Yeah.
Like, it's risky.
And there's a lot of utility in the concept of having that show.
Yeah.
Of having a place where people who have different viewpoints can actually...
Yes.
So the problem with normally when that gets done is it's done by a bunch of people who are left-leaning. And no one who's right-leaning actually believes that they honestly believe the right-leaning opinions that they represent. this person has convinced everyone that she is actually right-leaning.
Yes.
So when she plays that character on the TV show, they believe her.
Totally.
And then you get you get a place where the people can disagree
And I thought-
vicariously for
Yeah,
everyone
and
else.
I think that's awesome. Like having a show where there's because there's so few right-leaning shows or movies and stuff like
There's
that.
just so few where there's crossover.
Yeah, and so
Like
something like
the
that is valuable. But
Art
then,
at the moment is matching our real world, where there's literally no crossover between people who genuinely hold opposing views.
but then it comes in the personalities of the people themselves, and that's
Yeah,
what.
unfortunately, Roseanne was not a very good proponent for
You
her.
really can't get
So-
angry at ABC though, because
No.
if they hadn't done something, they'd be
The
like,
president
they can't
for-
support racism.
an African American
No, they
woman
can't.
is their head of bloody, like their head executive of
Yeah.
programming. She
Yeah.
wasn't gonna just sit there and take it like,
No.
oh, well, it's a good thing we
It's
have
true.
countering viewpoints about us being ape-like.
Yeah, it was Wanda Sykes too, right?
Mm.
She was also on it as a
I was
consulting
like, Wanda Sykes.
writer.
I haven't seen her in years.
Anyway,
All right.
Anyway,
All right, guys. We
lying.
could keep talking about
what
it,
is Sykes?
but let's not.
I don't know. I want to go with some Wanda Sykes.